Hello everyone, and welcome back to your haunted neighborhood, where the streets breathe, the shadows watch, and the past never stays dead. I'm your host, Jody Bohr. Each week, I share true stories of haunted places, cursed objects, and chilling encounters sent in by haunted neighbors like you. So come closer. There's something waiting just beyond the sidewalk. Tonight, one of our haunted neighbors has a story that just couldn't stay buried, that has found its way to us and is dying to be told. So let's open the door, shall we? Step inside your haunted neighborhood. They say her wail can split the night in two. A sound older than stone, colder than death. Deep in the hills of a village far from here, the Banshee sings again. But in this neighborhood, even legends from across the sea find a way to echo through our streets. And tonight, her cry reaches us. Tonight's story, the title is Banshee Experience. So this happened when my brother and I were maybe 11 and 12. We lived in a rural town, a town with a nice mix of busy streets and, at the time, sprawling farms. My family home was the second to last house in the last neighborhood before you hit farmland, as far as the eye could see. To the right of my house was my neighbor, then a thick hedgerow, which separated the housing estate from the farm. The first 5 or 6 fields in this part of the farm grew barley and wheat. As kids, we made tunnels through the hedgerow and spent hours every day during the summer exploring the farm with friends. Each field was huge and was separated from the neighboring fields by other large hedgerows, some complete with streams running through them. One night, my little brother, our 2 best friends, and myself were outside our house playing football and skateboarding. It was about 9:30 at night and quite dark. Remember, we are the second to the last house on the road, in the very last housing estate. Before it was just barley, as far as the eye could see. We were essentially the very edge of town. Anyway, on this night, we were hanging out as usual, when suddenly we heard an ear-piercing screech coming from the barley field beside us. It was so loud and high-pitched that it took our attention in an instant. It had a feeling of panic about it, yet it was kind of funny to our young minds. We decided to go investigate, thinking it was a pig or an injured animal of some description. So in our youthful excitement, we burrowed through the hedgerow and started running towards the origin of the sound, all laughing in excitement. The barley was ready to be plucked from the earth, so it was high, up past our waists, so we couldn't see anything that may be on the ground injured. As we got close to where the sound was coming from, it suddenly stopped. We stopped and looked at each other, laughing. Then it started again. But now it was originating from the point of the field which we first entered. We exchanged glances in confusion before sprinting towards the sound, believing it must be a scared, injured animal. Then the sound stopped before immediately starting again directly behind us. This time, it sounded ominous, and the feeling changed. The sound then stopped again, starting instantly, but way off in the distance. It moved toward us at speeds way too fast for an animal. Just as it reached us, it stopped and again came from a totally different end of the field, hurtling towards us in pitch black. Now we were frightened. This is not an injured animal. We've no idea what it is. The sound then seemed to stop and start from everywhere, moving with incredible speeds all around us, covering huge distances in seconds. Without saying a word, we all ran as fast as possible back to the hedgerow, which we entered. All the while, this loud, screeching, wailing moves all around us. My younger brother begins crying in fear as we all rush to get back into our neighborhood under street lights near our home. As soon as we crossed the threshold, the high-pitched screaming chasing behind us stopped at the border. We were all physically shaken and scared now. My little brother was hysterical for weeks, refusing to go back into the field, even during a sunny day. A few years later, my brother would tragically die suddenly in that house. Many strange sightings of a withered woman were reported around those fields over the years. If anyone is familiar with the legend of the Banshee, let me know what you think. This occurred in Ireland. Your haunted neighborhood, where every mailbox has a secret, every attic a scream, and every street lamp flickers and lights the way to another spine tingler. Tonight's tale, a real treat from one of your haunted neighbors, full of whispers, warnings, and things out of the shadows. But the thing about stories like this is they never really stay buried or forgotten, do they? Let's talk about the pieces that stuck with me and the ones that still make my skin crawl. I love the different folklores from different areas, and it's interesting because they mention Banshee and have a question mark, and I looked up in Irish folklore. The Banshee is like a supernatural wailing woman believed to herald the death of a family member. It's interesting because they say later their brother would tragically die in that same house where they heard those screechings, and it was almost kind of like a warning that something bad was to come. That's very sad and scary that that happened to them. And it kind of makes me think of growing up in Mexican, Spanish folklore also. They mention Banshee. Makes me also think of the lechuza. That's also kind of like an owl that's like following you around, but that's like a different kind of folklore. I don't want to bring it up because it's a different kind of region and folklore, but it reminds me of that. But it's so interesting that so many different places have similar supernatural things that are so similar to each other. Thanks so much, you guys, for listening. And thanks for wandering these haunted streets with me. I hope you'll come back for the next story. See you around the neighborhood.